So our topic today, as you already know, is about empowering change, and Kriti has truly done that. Kriti, you've been here for a while now and made some excellent choices. Let's go back to Mimi, right? From there to Kriti sitting in front of me with just another fantastic release at Dopatti as a producer as well on Netflix that she just released. It's been quite the journey. But of course, every journey has its own story. So I want to tell the audience, and you must tell us about how you feel the choices that you've made have impacted the person who's sitting in front of me and also the industry in a way, right, with your choices.
Firstly, hello everyone. Thank you for being such a quiet audience. इससे ज़्यादा quiet मैंने I don't think कोई audience इससे पहले देखी है.
I think we need to make a little bit more noise.
I'm hoping that you're quiet because you want to hear me, not because you're sleeping. Hopefully. Can we make a little bit of noise so I know you're up? Woo! Thank you IFFI, thank you Netflix, thank you RUDRANI for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. You have seen my journey very closely. It's so nice when you have an equation, especially being a part of the same fraternity, and you see each other grow in a way. So yes, Mimi has been a major milestone in my career, and from Mimi, which doesn't seem like very long back, to Dopatti today. I think Mimi itself was a bit of a bold choice for me at that time, considering I was craving to finally take up something which was more on my shoulders, where I could dig in deep, which had a lot for me to do as an actor. And a lot of people told me to sort of, why do you want to be pregnant in a film? You're so young, why do you want to be a mother? Surrogacy is a very serious subject. Thodi arty ho jaogi, stuff like that. I heard a lot of things. But I don't think I saw beyond the story and what it made me feel and what it said. I think that is what has impacted me from there onwards, seeing the validation, seeing the love of the audiences, and the fact that I was right when I felt what I felt, because they felt it too, and they felt emotional, they remembered the story. I have so many people when they meet me and they talk about the film. And going forward, I think somewhere in my head, I wanted to take up a lot more stronger subjects. I wanted to take up a lot more stronger roles. I think it gave a certain confidence in the actor in me, in the potential that I believed that I had, and then the world also felt like, yeah, you're right. We would love to see you in some more, media stuff. So I think Dopatti was also something that came out of my hunger to perform and find something deeper, more emotional, more layered. And Kanaka Dhillon, my writer and co-producer, gave me 2 characters. But more importantly, for what the story said. That's the reason why I wanted to also creatively be involved and produce it, because the subject that it talked about was very, very close to my heart, and I felt like it's relevant, it's, existing all around us, and it needs to be spoken about.
100%. I'm sure all of you have watched Dopatti, which is streaming on Netflix. So we must give another round of applause to KRITI Sanon. Like she rightly said, a movie that is truly impactful in its way. We talk about so many different aspects of being a woman, besides the violence against women that the movie talks about. Before we get into that, I must say we had another interesting film from you, Teri Baaton Mein Aise Ulja Jia, and that too playing a robot. She gave the amazing performance with literally the best straight face. Kriti, can we have you do the straight face, please? That dead look that works.
The dead look, but more than the dead look, that actually connected to the kids was the, joke.
Oh, yeah.
That connected.
That too. But it's very difficult to do a good straight face and emote. You know what I'm saying?
What was very tricky was I thought कि इसमें तो ज़्यादा emotion है नहीं because ये robot है, so like I won't get to do much. And for the longest time when I used to perform with Shahid, I remember cribbing because I was like, oh my God, you know, you're getting to do so much and you're, you know, I can't flow with you. But I was also on a very, very tight rope because I had to be robotic, but not in a very robotic way. I had to be someone who the robotics engineer doesn't get to know is a robot because she's so close to being a human, but she's not human. So it's a very, very tricky line. And I feel like a lot of things that Sifra did, you know, she was absolutely perfect. She was very elegant. She would never be wrong, you know, she would hardly blink. She would open the door with so much grace. ये मेरी body में है ही नहीं. मैं लगती हूँ बहुत graceful, but मैं life में गिरती पड़ती रहती हूँ. So for me to be doing that was also very like not like me. And this laughter, I was so scared of this laughter, I can't tell you. I have to tell you how this laughter came along. So every time the director used to, the director and writer, they both have written the story. So when they used to narrate it, he would do this laugh and I'm like, shit, ये बहुत थोड़ा ये OTT है मेरे लिए, मतलब over the top, I don't think I can do it. मुझसे mimicry नहीं होती है, you know. So I was like, okay, how do I do this? One day, Meera was on the set, okay, and my team, my hair makeup, Shahid, Meera, we all were here, and something they said in a sarcastic way, and I just randomly said, oh, joke, hey, and they all laughed. And Shahid just looked at me, he's like, do that. So it just happened that I cracked it while not really thinking about it. But yeah, I'm really glad and happy that it really connected with kids especially, yeah. You know, like I have had kids who have gotten scared of me when they saw me for the first time in reality and they were like, but she's a robot, you know, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go charge. So
That's just fantastic. Also, such an interesting story. Sometimes, for actors, the best things come out of what's happening in real life, doesn't it? As you've
when you're
always
not
observe.
thinking about it, you know, when you put too much thought to something, sometimes it's not that real.
100%, and Kriti always keeps it real. On that note, we're talking about perfect women. She just said, you know, Sifra was supposed to be this perfect woman. We were talking about how there's so much pressure on women off screen and on screen to be perfect. You know, they hardly have gotten the opportunities to play flawed characters so much, you know, and there's so much more judgment for female characters maybe, and also actors. When they play flawed grey shades, you get a little bit more flack than the men who have been doing it for years. While we have a wonderful, you know, time today where we are doing everything. You have played Do Patti, you play this absolutely evil twin who is deliciously doing malicious things, let's put it that way. But there was a joy in that, right? Like as an actor.
I had a lot of fun. I don't think I've had so much fun with any character as I had with Shelley's character because it was unapologetic. It had no moral compass, it had no boundaries. You know, we all somewhere want to be good people and we have these moral compasses and these boundaries. In front of media also, I have a certain thing that अच्छा मैं ये नहीं बोल सकती हूँ, पता नहीं कुछ और ना सोच लें. And I love that Shelley में कुछ था ही नहीं. She didn't care. So it just felt so liberating to not care. And yeah, as you said, I feel like it's very important to show real women, like you show real men. Real men are flawed. People are flawed. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has their insecurities, their traumas, their things that don't make them perfect. And I think पहले बहुत time से ना women in cinema have been, women characters in cinema have been more looked from a male gaze, a male perspective. ये तो perfect है, you know, ये दिखती भी perfect है, इसके बाल भी उड़ते हैं, ये शर्माती है, ये धीरे बोलती है, सॉफ्टली बोलती है, इसकी हंसी बहुत अच्छी है, ये सहमी सी बेचारी लड़की है जिसको गुंडों से हमेशा हीरो बचा रहा होता है. You know,
वेट करना पड़ता है.
That's what is the projection has been for a long time. But nobody's really asked if women really want to be that. Are they really that? No. Women can also be flawed. They can also feel jealous. They can also feel hurt. They can also feel angry and throw something, you know, like a man can. So I just feel like it's important to show strong-minded women who are not perfect, who are not your perception of what a good girl or a perfect girl should be. You know, whether it's your mother, whether it's your wife, whether it's your sister, everyone has their own flaws, yeah, and they're human beings. Why are they supposed to be perfect?
Can we please clap for this? Can we please? So well put. Also, you know,
And sorry, I'm just saying, तेरी बातों में ऐसा उलझा जिया सिफ्रा was that perfection that a man desires. जो आपकी बात सुन रही है, जो जिसके ज़्यादा टंटे नहीं हैं, जो ज़्यादा चिक चिक नहीं करती है, जो बहुत परफेक्ट दिखती है सारा टाइम, जो आपके लिए कॉफ़ी बना देती है, खाना बना देती है, आपको क्या चाहिए दैट. But the man thinks like he's in control till she makes him realize towards the end that you're not really in control. And she goes rogue and he can't do anything about it.
it's a lesson, you know, it's a lesson that we all need to remember, that movie. But while we're talking about that, of course, you spoke about the male gaze that a lot of characters are written from. It'll be wonderful to have more female writers. I've seen you collaborate with Kanika and there are a lot of fantastic women that you collaborate with, even in Netflix, right? I think that also adds to changing this narrative that we have, getting in more stronger female people who understand what they're going through. What is your thought on this?
I absolutely feel like women slowly and steadily are coming to their own. They're coming into every field, you know, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's businesses. I think if they put their mind to something, they can do anything. So I don't think any profession should be biased towards one or the other gender, unless and until, yeah, a particular profession requires physical certain kind of an ability or strength. You know, so yeah, I'm really happy that women are sort of everywhere, whether it's, you know, heading Netflix to writing and co-producing. So I'm happy about that change, but I feel like the change will only happen if men and women both think in the same way. You know, where it has to be about progressive minds. It's not about a man or woman. Women also can't bring about a change just by themselves. So when I talk about, say, Mimi, it was written by a male writer. It was directed by a male. Yeah, it was directed by a man, and to be honest, it's about how you look at things. So Mimi was a very progressive, very almost empowered girl of her time who made choices, who took things in her hands, who, you know, her life threw things at her, but she still stayed strong. And that was a man thinking of a woman like that. So I think it needs to be a perspective shift. You know, it just has to be progressive minds. And we need to stop thinking of man and woman, and it just needs to be human beings.
Well said, well said.